I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm glad you mentioned that it made you feel like you were watching a movie, because that was our intent. We wanted to create a soundtrack to a movie that did not exist, because, Fear Factory was influenced, the bands I mentioned before, but there's so many other things like the ambient dance music and the heavy dance music and the, soundtracks, Terminator, RoboCop, Blade Runner, Apocalypse Now, with all these types of movies we were big fans of, horror films, sci-fi films. So we wanted to create a story, and that's where Demanufacture was really the album that we started the concept in full swing, where it's like, okay, we got to make this band more than what it is. We got to, use what we have to the best of our advantage. And we had great artists, we had great producers working with us, not well-known producers, but people we respected, from working with Dave McKeon on the album artwork, who was doing Sandman comic books at that point, working with Reese Fulber and Bill Lieb, who were in one of the preeminent industrial bands of that time period, and being on Roadrunner Records, an up-and-coming label that wasn't a major label, but it was a very strong indie at that point, and we had incredible backing. And then when our record came out, people, not just you, didn't know what was going on, but the whole industry were like, "What the fuck is this? This is not metal." A lot of the death metal bands on our label like, "This is not death metal." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks."
That's probably a compliment. Yeah, that's a compliment.
Yeah, it's not death metal. It's like, well, this is not metal. I'm like, well, it's heavy, it's aggressive, and so that's why we toured with bands from Sick of It All to Iron Maiden. We toured with all types of bands. And we were just trying to create something that was true to ourselves, true to the time period that we're living in,